Yo guys, what's up? Welcome along to another live stream here on the Chill Out Flight channel. It has just gone 20 to 1 in the afternoon here in the UK, and it's a slow work day Friday, so I thought we'd crack on with an afternoon stream here, and we're going to take the EasyJet little 320neo down to London Southend and back again. Some nice freeway scenery down there that I want to go and check out, so I thought, well, why not? Let's stream it and see what we can see what damage we can cause down towards the south coast of the UK. Little domestic sector this afternoon. It's not an actual route, but I fancy flying EasyJet and I fancied flying a bit in the UK today. So we're going to start off at, this is my home airport, and we're going to fly down to London. The plane is completely cold and dark. There's nothing turned on. We need to go and set it all up, get some passengers, and hopefully this jet bridge will come across. I haven't tried it out. This is ORBX scenery in Newcastle. Very nice. Literally depicts the exact how the airport looks when I've flown into this numerous times as well. So we'll go and see what that's all about, and we'll go get it set up, and we'll see you in the flight deck in just a couple of seconds. So yeah, seamless as ever into the flight deck we are. Everything's completely cold and dark. So we need to we'll get the fly pad on, and we'll go and get one or two bits and bobs turned on this here overhead. Bit of external power. We'll get the APU up and running, and arm those emergency lights. The crew can have some oxygen, and we'll get the ground control on as well. Nav logo can come on, and we'll get the no smoke sign on, and we'll align the IRSs. There you go. So go and have a quick look at this this flight plan in a second. It's not a very long flight, that's why we'll do the return as well. And it is, like I said, some freeware scenery from flightsim.to that looks relatively good, that I want to go and check out. So we'll shut that. IRSs are aligning. We'll get some flight plan loaded in. I'll have a quick check of that, see what we're going to be doing. There we are, flight time 51 minutes, so not long at all. Cruising at 270, the step climb from Ribble. And the block fuel we need is, well, 6 tons. If we take 6.5 tons, that should be plenty for this little trip. There is that. Passengers we need now, and we'll go and open a few doors up, and they can get themselves boarded. So our passengers, that jet bridge is doing something. There we are. Let's nip down into the McDo and get this set up. I have got the external one on my iPad, so I'm going to use that again because I think it's pretty cool. We'll grab the AOC and we'll do the init press. We are easy 21:25 from Newcastle down to London Southend. Estimate time en route is 51 minutes. And we'll go and get these, how many passengers we're taking today. Let's have a look. 169 going down to London for the weekend. So we'll start those off, and we'll go and get them boarded via PackX. There they go. And we're going to get the rest sorted out. We're going to do the init request. They are our alternate. Oh wow, alternate being Paris Charles de Gaulle. I'm surprised we're going to take us across the sea if we do have an issue, but yeah, Paris Charles de Gaulle is the alternate. Cost index of 38. Cruising is 270, not 23, so we'll just change that. 270, and we'll go and do init B. So block fuel we're taking 6.5 tons. And we can double click that and get the zero fuel weight. And the alternate, we said, what did we say the alternate was? Alternate fuel 1.7 to get over to Paris. Go in. And the wind is, average wind is -6. Pop that in. Headwind is 6 knots, nothing too exciting there, and that is all set up. Gives us an extra 1 hour 5 minutes flying, and we got 51 minutes down to Paris. So if we do this flight plan, so from Newcastle, I believe we are going to go out of runway 25. We are indeed runway 25, and it's going to be the Gurley 1 Yankee departure out. Insert that, and then into Southend it's going to be 2, 3, and it's going to be the Listo 1 Sierra arrival. And if we grab the we'll grab the chart and have a quick look at that. There's the route. We're going to make the left-hand turn out of Newcastle down over County Durham, tracking all the way across, so we get to see most of the countries from the northeast across to the northwest. And then we come back across, literally straight across the, is that the Midlands? Well, south of Peterborough, Oxford way, Cambridge, down via Chelmsford, and then we're going to come into runway 23, ideally kind of from over here. So if we look at this, we want a via, what's it going to go via? Listo, via Gemu, we could use that one, or if it's got spearing. So we've got Southend, or we got Gemu. Gemu's not on our charts there. Is it on here? There it is. So Gemu, Trippo, and then into Southend. So we could use Gegmu. Or Gegmu, however it's pronounced. We'll pop that in for now, and we can adjust that as we get further down. Get rid of that discontinuity. We'll go have a quick look at the plan. So if we skip through this, there's that left-hand turn down to Gurley, and we're tracking across. And after that, Lovell, Manchester way, Listo, and then we should make that turn across at Finmer, and then it should swing us round nicely for something along the lines of that. We may sort that out later on, because that is a bit. That is a bit of a mess. Ideally it would be out here and then in. But this wants us to go up and around by the looks of things. What's in here? Sorry, to Trippo is right. Gekmu via Trippo. Looks about right. That intercept has got intercept here for some reason as well. Anyway, we'll sort that out when we're up in the cruise. You don't need to worry too much about that. QNH set 1035 once, twice, and 3 times on the FO side. Get rid of that. Brighten that up a little bit. And we can jump back up, and we'll get a few fuel pumps on as well.
Make sure you close it as a courtesy to other passengers.
And we're going to have a look at the performance out of Newcastle.
If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit seating responsibilities.
There it is. Let's have a look at what we need for this.
Please make sure that you are able and willing to perform these actions. If you're not, please let a flight attendant know.
So runway 25, which is 246 degrees. Runway elevation is 240. Length not very long, 2330. And we need some weather. Weather. Oop. Just got that latest bit off here. Newcastle is 7 degrees, winds 278 knots. So 278. 278 is dry. QNH 1034. And outside air temperature is 7. And we'll grab the init info for takeoff. 66.4 tons, and the CG is going to be 24.7. So that gives us, for performance wise, config 1 plus F, 52 degrees flex, 39, 42, 43, 0.8 up for the trimmable horizontal stabilizer. So we can go and put that in to the McDo. Performance, and it's going to be so flap 1, which is up 0.8. Flex is 52, and we got V1 of 139, VR of 142, and we got V2 of 143. Transition altitude 6,000 feet, and that is that all set up. Gives us a clean speed of 219, slats retract at 195, and flaps can retract at 151. So we can get rid of that now, and let's grab the taxi chart. So we're going to go off 25. We are parked where we parked, just here. There's only really one main taxiway in Newcastle. We'll push back straight down Delta, all the way down to the Delta 1 hull point there, and that's where we'll do our final checks and get ourselves ready to go. Passengers are probably not too far off from being boarded. Let's have a quick look. Just a few more to come, and there we are. The F-18 over there. One or two people flying around Newcastle this afternoon. But it's a nice day. Looking out my window, that's showing clouds, but there's actually no clouds about at the minute. So let's jump back in the flight deck and we'll have a look at what else we might need to do. That's fine, that can go back to 10 miles. We'll get the constraints on. And we should have, 180 knot restriction. Then 250 after November Tango Whiskey 03. So what we can do is we can go and request our push. And we'll close a few doors up. There that goes. Door is closed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 2125 with service to Southend. Our flight time will be roughly 51 minutes. Please note the cabin doors are now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across.
Well, a tug not quite in place. I think he's stuck underneath the terminal.
Crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
Well, we'll press reverse, see what happens. Nothing much at the minute. See if we can get the parking brake off. Let's have a look. Oh, aye. We're off already. Get engine number 2 started. That was a very unexpected pushback. Considering we have no tug.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures of this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace.
There goes the M1.
2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails,
see if we can get on the yellow line at least this afternoon, unlike yesterday's there.
You to start the oxygen.
issue in Madrid where
Put the
we're well
mask
and
over
truly
your
wonky.
nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life
That's
jacket
pretty good.
under
Let's
your
hold
seat.
that there.
Put
We'll
it
set the
over
parking
your
brake.
head. Pass the tapes around
We'll
your waist.
finish that push.
Click together. And
So we have a
pull
good
the
start on
strap to
engine
adjust.
2, so we'll go for engine 1.
Not inflate it inside the aircraft.
Start that clock.
When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the
And
tube.
we'll set TCAS
Use
to
a light
auto,
and whistle for
and
attracting attention.
when that
We'll
engine
also
starts
carry
up, we'll do a
flotation
quick
aids
flight
for
control
children.
check.
Your tray table
So we
must now
have
be stowed,
full up,
armrest down, window blinds open,
full
and
down,
seatbelt fastened.
neutral,
We wish you
and
a
full
pleasant
left,
flight with EasyJet.
full right, neutral, and we'll do the rudder, full left, full right, and neutral. That's all good. Wait for that EGT rising, and N1 is on the rise. Wait for that to go. We'll get off the APU and we'll get ourselves taxied out. It's relatively simple. It's literally straight ahead, down at Delta, past the fire station and the control tower to Delta 1 hull point, which is where we'll do our last few minute pre-takeoff checks, and good start on engine number 1. So APU can come off, that can come off, they can come on, that can come on. That can go to taxi. We've got everything else sorted. We've done the flight control check. We have initial stop altitude of 8,000 feet. And we'll check this departure before we go. Not below 4,000. Maximum flight level 80, 250 knots, and we've got 180 knots in that first left-hand turn, which hopefully this should pick up and stop us going above it. So, as far as I'm aware, everything else looks good. What we'll do is we'll arm the spoilers. Auto brake can come to max, and the flaps can be travelling as we start to taxi out. So we'll get going straight ahead. Delta 1 holding point. Runway 25. Again, Virgin Australia. I think he's picked the wrong Newcastle, to be honest with you. Might need Newcastle in Australia, not in the northeast of England. So hopefully this should be Delta in the right taxiway. That confirms we're on Delta, which is good. Reset. Reset that view, ready for when we get going. And the cabin. Dinged.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Takeoff config check. As we taxi out, that auto brake still will not stay on max. You can bet your bottom dollar by the time we get down here that's gone back to blue again. Not sure what it is, but it will not stay. Will not stay on max. Here comes the fire station. Should we need them? And everything else, I think, is good. We're going to take these passengers down for their weekend on the south coast, and then we'll bring some back up into Newcastle after we drop them off. Nice little 2-sector Friday afternoon for Quiet day at work for me. Yet again. January is always a rubbish month. So I thought, well, there's no work, I may as well stream. I'll go and check out some nice scenery that I've got for Southend. So, grab these charts. As you can see, there we are, coming down to Delta 4 at the minute, and we're going to hold just here. Now you see, auto brake is back to blue again. Better start slowing down. Stop here. Get our lights on, and then we'll line up. So those can come on. That can go at takeoff. That can come on. And one last check outside. Pretty cool. Landing lights, taxi lights, flaps are at 1, and I think we're good to go line up. And that auto brake has come off again. Any of you have any idea why that auto brake keeps coming off? If you drop it in the chat, that would be very useful. It gets very annoying. We'll just line up there a sec. Get TCAS to TARA. Go. And I think we're good for a rolling start. Then you need to stop. Let's get 50% M1. There it is. 1, 2 clicks forward. There's Manflex 52 SRS runway auto thrust armed and blue. And we've got 8,000 magenta for our initial stop climb. There's 100 knots. Looking for 140. There it is, there's V1, and rotate, up we go. Up on the flight directors. Positive climb, the gears coming up. Slightly high. Departure out, let's bring it down a sec. Holy moly. Just get us out of that alpha lock a minute, I'm not sure what happened there. I'll fly this bit manually for a minute. And we'll put the auto thrust back in. There we are, it's better. And thrust climb, 8,000 blue. Galley 2207, is there any ATC? Not at the minute, there's not. There's the S-speed, we should be held at 180 for this turn. And then we'll retract the flaps. There they go. And there's a nice departure out River Tyne, out to the North Sea. Newcastle this side, Gateshead to the south of the river. And I live somewhere amongst here. So 4,000 feet we need to be above, which we are now, and then we got an initial stop climb of 8,000 feet at Gurley at the moment, which is here. We'll go direct Gurley now. should tidy up that, or maybe not. Maybe we'll go direct Tilney, and that should get rid of that bit of mess just here. There we go. Looks better. We'll retract the spoilers. They can go. And we'll pull standard. Wind that out just a smidge. And once we get to Gurley, shortly we'll get up to our cruise, which will be in about 13 miles time. We can get rid of that restriction and go straight up to 270, I believe is the cruise. Have a look. 270. This short flight down to London. They have speed out, and there we are, 8,000 feet. And we will just wait just a few minutes to pass this restriction, and then we'll go upwards a bit more. We can set that in the window. And what we will do is, I'm just going to grab the volume mixer a second. Bring down that, and what we'll do is we'll get a bit of music on as well. What we got? We have that, and we must be about passing Gurley anytime. Yeah, there we go. We'll get going. Favorite aircraft, Galley. Well, I did learn to fly a Cessna 152, so there'll be that. Would be my first aircraft I actually learned to fly in real life. And then besides that, I did want to be a pilot actually in real life, but I didn't pass the medical. So unfortunately, my dream to fly like passenger jets like this, that didn't quite happen. So from a Cessna which I actually can fly recreationally, to flying an A320, I think would be my favourite one. I've tried to learn to fly the Boeing, the Zebo Modern X plane. I'm still not a fan of that, to be honest. As much as it's a good flight model and a good plane to fly, I still always come back to Airbus. So I've got the 320, and also I do like the A340-600 and the A350 as well. So that looks at our we'll get ourselves up in the cruise. Level up 737. I've not tried that, to be honest. I've seen that streamed a couple of times by one by Flight Deck to Sim, and I can't say I've actually tried that, to be honest. Making our way out up in the cruise. I will take out the 737 again at some point shortly.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on
I
your
can't say that I'm the biggest fan of it. I know a lot of people are, and there'll be a lot of people who much prefer going to Airbus. Maybe I just haven't given it a chance. But I will try the 7.3 again very shortly. We'll bring it out on a stream for a flight somewhere.
turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
There's a glitch with the Zebo 7.3, was there? I know that Zebo have it's their systems in the level up 7.3 as well, isn't it? Zebo systems in it. So yeah, passing 113 for 27, and it's not a very long flight, so we'll go and tidy up some of these charts a sec, and we can now heading down towards North Yorkshire, across to the northwest, to the west of Manchester. Then we'll cut across the Midlands, right across to towards Chelmsford, and then whiz our way around into Southend. But we'll just look at this just to make sure we know what we are doing. So Listo, we need to be flight level 200 by Rugby. And 150 by Finmer. Bombo, max 250 knots. Rain, and then round into Fiat, not above or below 5,000. That'll take us to Gekmu, and then Tripto, and onto the ILS. So Rugby, flight level 200. So we only need 21 miles from Rugby to start our initial descent into Southend. Go here. I'm going to put in Rugby. Rugby, we want 21 miles, and then EGMC runway 23, and we'll put the 053 radial in. Right there. Put the radial in, that'll give us an extended centre line in case we have a pickle a bit later on. And we muck up the arrival. There it is. Pretty good. This was not a normal, obviously, EasyJet route. There was a flight from Newcastle down to Southend, but I can't remember who actually flew that. But this is Newcastle being my home airport, and Southend with some nice freeway scenery. I thought it was worth a little trip down just to check it out. We'll drop the passengers off and we'll do the return back up as well. There you can see that's our initial descent. There we are to be at Rugby at flight level 200. We'll start our topper drop there and then work our way down a bit closer to Southend. Hopefully we'll have PACX is following us out as well. Very nice. Only Manchester approach online, so nothing. Oh, and we got London Centre. However, I believe, as always happens, my V pilot is backed in yet again. I think it's going to be a nice smooth trip down. The weather looks good all the way down. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just grab the weather in London and have a quick look. Echo Golf Mike Charlie. Winds variable at 3 knots, Cav OK 7 degrees, QNH 1035. Clear skies all the way down. Nothing to get too excited about, really. Leeds Bradford to our left. Now we cross across towards East Midlands, and away we go. Lovely sunny day at Heathrow. Excellent. That's what we like to see. Doesn't look too bad across in Southend either. Galley. I think it looks nice and bright across the whole of the UK at the minute, I think. If this is anything to go by. 1 or 2 scattered clouds, but apart from that, nothing too exciting for winter time. Yeah, speed out start. Just about to level off at 270. Yeah, I was just looking at the flight plan. There's literally no wind. But 8 knots, 23 is the max it's going to be. All the way down this flight is going to be 23 knots headwind. Yeah, the arrival in. Let's have a quick look at that. Idea that would be the procedural approach overhead the airport, then back out and in. I don't think we're not going to fly that. We'll come down Finmer and we'll come across to Brain and down, and then we'll come off on the extended centre line and we'll vector ourselves in. I'm not going to bother flying the full procedure if we don't need to. So what we'll do is we'll get to Barkway and we'll come off. We'll come off the. Brain. It will come to Mailer, I guess. Yeah, so this one wants us to come down, overhead, back out and in. But we can go from Brain direct to India Delta, India November Delta 14, and we'll fly the flying the ILS off the extended centre line. Looks like a good plan. Not sure what this has got in there, but it's got a load of other points that we don't need. We're going to head to this one and we'll skip out. Yeah, see, it's got Gekmo and Trippo just there that aren't even on this flight plan, but yet they're shoved in the McDo, so won't bother with any of that. And We'll aim to be here. We'll come off the arrival a bit later on and sort that out ourselves. We'll follow the height restrictions and then we'll do our own thing on the arrival. Oh yeah, hopefully it won't be that busy. Hopefully. But like I said, I was on VATSIM and then V-Pilots quit, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Always seems to happen. It'll work for quite a while, then all of a sudden V-Pilot will have an issue with its life and it'll just quit every time I try and use it. Or you can get your clearance out of an airport and then it'll crash and it just won't reopen. I've downloaded it, I've uninstalled it, I've tried all kinds of stuff. But yet X-Pilot seems to work perfectly fine when you use it on an X-plane. So I've no idea what's up with that. Captain Canada had the same issue. Oh, right. Maybe it's not just me then. Hopefully they'll bring out a fix. I like to fly on VATSIM. I'm not sure what's up with it or when they'll do that, but one thing for sure, you certainly won't miss that plane, whether it's in the sky or on the ground, how bright orange that is. I know EasyJet like their orange, but that's a bit excessive. Guys, don't forget we are live on Twitch and on the YouTube as well. If you're watching on there, smash a like, hit the subscribe. And if you want to join the Discord as well, you'll find out whenever we're doing live streams, where we're flying, what we're flying, and what time we are flying. If you want the Discord invite, hit !Discord in chat, you'll grab the link, and that'll let you take us to our server. And go and see the nice guys that are in there. How far is our topper drop now? It's coming in relatively quick, about 30 odd miles. So just under 10 minutes time to initial descent. Ardy, yeah, seems nice weather. You're right there, very nice. Seems nice pretty much the whole length of the UK at the minute. It's that now said, that bit of clouds just loaded in, but yeah, the rest of the UK looks pretty good from north to south at the moment, which is and also quite warm for winter as well at the minute. Obviously, I live up in Newcastle, and it's still about 9 degrees today. Very surprising for this time of year. So we need to be at flight level 200 by Rugby, and then after Rugby, Finma flight level 150, and then Barkway, we'll put that in the rad nav actually, 16.25. Can go into VOR1. Put that on. Flight time not long, it's about 55 minutes, if that. We've been pushed back, well, we pushed back 31 minutes ago, and we're going to be starting top of descent in about 5 or 6 minutes, so not long. So I've just noticed that the Fly Live is not, the overlay is not working for some reason. See if I can get it to work. EGMC, and we were easy 21.25. There we go. That should have worked now on the top of this screen. So yeah, we should be landing according to the overlay at about 1:45, which is in about 20 minutes or so. I'm using the latest experimental version of the A32NX with its VNAV and TCAS and whatnot. Seems to be alright, apart from the flight plan's a bit weird again. I know that wasn't an issue in the dev version beforehand, but this seems that the FMC seems to be a bit skew-iff sometimes at the minute. We are where we are. There we are, coming down in between Leicester and Birmingham at the minute. Actually, well on the arrival now. Oh, we will be coming up to Listo. Cracking down. Yeah, you can make the fix. You can do that in the dev version as well, I think. If you're not using the experimental one. I was using the dev version, and I could do that in that as well. I just use the fixed info just to make a topper drop, so I don't forget, and the extended center line in case we muck up the approach. Which I find quite useful. So there is top of descent. Pretty much now we're going to come down to flight level 200. There it is. We'll try and manage descent, see if that does anything. If not, then we'll quickly get down for the open descent. Actually, that hasn't got a restriction in, so we'll just use open descent for now. There should be a restriction here at Rugby. You can see TCAS working as well. Yeah, there should be a restriction at Rugby of flight level 200. But for some reason that's not... actually, that might help. Has got it in now. There we are. So we could set flight level 150 in, and it should stop us. Just try that. In theory, it should stop us at flight level 200 and then down to 15 after that. Not sure whether it will. Yeah, London Control is online, but obviously my V-Pilot's not working, still I can't get it to open. So unfortunately, VATSIM is out the window for now. I'll try it again before the return trip back up, see if I can get it to work. Yeah, Ardy, I mean, this is not... It's not bad. Like I said, the flight plan's a little bit messy sometimes, but apart from that, it seems pretty stable, to be honest. If you like it to have... with the TCAS does actually work, because I think it was when we streamed yesterday, out of Madrid, we did get a TCAS warning and a TCAS... and the TCAS, the resolution as well. Quite good. I filed the flight plan through SimBrief, but it's just a V-Pilot thing that I can open up, connect to the network, and then 2 minutes later it just quits. I run it as administrator. I tried uninstalling it, re-downloading the latest version, and I just can't get it to work for some reason. Don't know why. Rugby 4 miles, we're going to make that restriction, that's fine, and then we'll just keep coming down to flight level 150. Let's get some weather in. The wind's still variable, 3 knots, cavalcade 7 degrees, 1035. 1035. Temperature 7. Winds, what are we landing at? We're landing on 23. We'll put the winds at 180. Maybe that'll do. Condition can be 6,000. And the barrow ref. No, final lap doesn't work yet, no, unfortunately. So your RNAV approaches are still not working on this. Yeah, RNAV and RMP approach you can't do yet. 238. Barrow ref. I'll get rid of that. Yes, Gary, yes there is. There'll be a landing rate thing pop up at the end. A bit more TCAS traffic on there now. We get towards London. Busy area. You can also type exclamation mark predict if you want to, Gally, and have a guess at the landing rate. Not that you win anything, but you can just a bit of fun. But we'll see how much I can mess this up. So 150 coming in for Finma. 250 knots down at Bombo, which we'll hopefully slow down for shortly, and then 220 at Brain, and then we'll sort ourselves out after that. We'll put in EGMC 23. Yeah. 77 miles left. No, I haven't, Gally. None. Not at all. There's 150 nicely at Finmer. Very nice. And then we should start to... how far we got before that speed restriction? 250. We got about 20 miles. And the next height restriction, well, we've got 5,000 at speed, but we're not going to do that. 2,000 for the platform, altitude for the ILS. We need 45 miles essentially before the airport, but then we can start our rest of our descent. Now back to 250 now. What we'll do is we'll get down in the ground in Southend. I'll take a quick 5-minute break, file a new flight plan, and we'll get ourselves turned around with some new passengers, and we'll head back on up to Newcastle. Check the ILS idents. India November Delta 11135. 11135. Nothing else. I don't think there's anything else to be too concerned about. Since level restriction on direct arrival for Southend. Containment pilot should have to be aware that it may leave controlled airspace. Sector 5 outside will be allocated safe altitude. Decast traffic. What's it going to do? Orange on the ND. There it is. 1,000 below, but climbing. And it's gone. Afternoon, Willie. How's it going, buddy? Welcome along. And Ardy, I take it that money to send still not working yet. I mean, it won't follow any. It does and it doesn't. I've noticed that it will sometimes, but not like it literally didn't follow that restriction here when we put it in before. So, but I have noticed in other places it will. There was a note saying that it is obviously a experimental version of it, and that it wasn't to be used like kind of online or anything like that. But if you were going to use it online, they wouldn't provide any support for it, and it's very much in a development stage. But I flew it. When did I fly it? The other week, and it flew a continuous descent with the restrictions in quite happily. Then today, clearly, it's not bothered to follow any of them, so it's got the speed back, but the height is not too happy with. Yeah, no, this, even though this is supposed to have the VNAV, it doesn't always work. how far we got left. 50 miles, and we need 45. We're going to start to vector ourselves off and in, and not follow that. Arrival. I'm going to start bringing us down just a smidge further, but we are going to stay on this heading now and not follow that flight plan. Just come down 10,000 feet for now. That wants us to go back up to 300 knots, which we don't want to do because 250 is the speed. Yeah, this does not want to follow any of the restrictions this afternoon. Going to keep us at about 1,300 feet per minute as well, and then we won't become too low too soon, and we can suss ourselves out. So let's have we're going to get these maps up now, and let's have see where we're up to, and we will be. Yes, live weather, live time, Hardy. So there we are, just south of, sorry, just north of Bishop Stortford, and we're going to come down. The Stansted Airport is just here. We'll follow this out a little bit, and then we're going to come off, and we'll bring ourselves in. There's flight level 100. We're 35 miles out from 2-3, 35 miles, and we're 10,000 feet, so that's working out quite nice. So we're just going to keep bringing that down. We'll come down to 6,000 now. Any altitude restraints really that we need to be aware of? 2.5, 2.3, 2.4, nothing, 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 nothing.
Default sign is now turned on, so it's time to return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt.
Gary Carter subscribed on YouTube.
Yo, Gary, welcome along, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope your Friday is going well as well. Nice gentle descent. We can keep it as a continuous descent. That'll be quite nice. And
we have begun our final
31 miles.
To Southend. Flight attendants will be
They can
passing
come on.
through the cabin to collect
That can
any
come on.
trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables
Picking it
are
up.
stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
That looks like a right royal, a right mess. Looking at that. .220 knot restriction. Come back for that as well. That's not far off our clean speed, to be fair, so we could just activate that, get back to our clean speed for now. We've got a 220 knot restriction, clean speed's 217-ish, 214. Yeah, we may as well go back down to that, I reckon. I think what we'll do is pull that head and we'll vector ourselves out a little bit now. There's the ILS ident lock approach AP2 going as well. We'll fly out this way and we'll just make the right turn and intercept the localizer in a few miles. .330 would be good, yes, it would. But I am looking forward to the A380 when that comes out. Have you tried the A330-900 Neo that's on flightsim.to? They're making an A3 at a very early stage. Oh, that'd be quite cool when that comes out. Have to manage speed now as well. So, we're heading out that way. I think we can start making that right hand turn a little bit. Bit further on the heading right round. See how that works out. Just giving ourselves a little extended vector out there. That's better than doing this. So we have to go down over the airport and back in this way. We're just going to go straight across and join the ILS. Get ourselves lined up with it. We'll start a little further descent. 4,000. Platform altitude was 2,000. And we are, what are we at? "19 miles, we should be fine." Nicely, and we can head to the blue dash line, and that'll give us the localizer and pull us onto it quite happily. Quite nice out there. .75 and 340 are one of the best looking. Yeah. Very true. Looks very nice out there, it does. Big print. Very nice. Jump back in for this final bit of prep. What we need to do. Let's have a quick look. Arm the spoilers ready. Auto brake can be low. It's a very nice approach in this, I have to say. It's very nice. Look out there now. We'll make this. We'll make this right-hand turn in a minute. Be pretty cool. .3,000 feet, and then that should pull us onto the perfectly onto the localizer in a minute. Right out 2,500. We could just nudge ourselves around a little bit further now. And we'll have flap 1. There's lock start. That's our job done, a veteran. Nicely done. Cabin can be dinged. I always thought that it was always green. It is normally where I live in the northeast. It is, but during winter it's normally cold and bright. On the whole, 12 miles. We'll have flap 2. And we should get the glide slope is at 6 miles. Very nice. We'll have for flap 3. And hopefully there should be a runway somewhere. There it is. That is a pretty nice approach. Pretty nice. So we have spoilers arm, we got low auto brake, flaps are at 3 at the minute. We'll pop those to full. QNH is set, and we're just waiting for the glide slope. And we'll drop the gear in just a couple of minutes. There they go, the glide is alive. There's 6 miles, gear can come down. One last look out the other side before we land. Look how cool does that look? $160 till 4. Well, we're at what we had. There's a glide slope. We're at 130 odd. That seems to be London's favourite speed though, doesn't it? 160 till 4 no matter where you fly. Let me get my feet on the rudder pedals. As they go around, quickly put that in. 2,000, which is already set, so that's fine. And the rest of it is all done. It's time to get on the deck. I guess that way they can quite happily have the space separation if they all know they're doing 160 till 4, then with how busy London actually is, I guess it makes sense if they all have the same approach speed at least till 4 miles, and then it's makes it easy, I guess, doesn't it?
300.
Oh, might help if I take out this autopilot, would be useful.
100 above. Minimum 100.
Holy moly, what's happened there?
50, 40,
Shit.
30, 20, retard.
Oh
5,
shit. Holy moly. My rudder pedals were doing all kinds of weird stuff. But I did. First I auto brake off. Not the way I expected that at all. Crikey. That was pretty shocking.
Ladies and
I should have done
gentlemen,
a go around, I
welcome
reckon.
to Southend. The local time is 1:58 p.m. and it's currently about 8 degrees Celsius.
That was highly
You can
amusing.
now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is
was nice,
off.
but it was well off
Items may have
where we
safety
wanted to
during
be.
flight. If this is your final
Jeez.
destination,
Where we are
thank you
anyway.
for flying with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Well, we're in the completely wrong place. That was, yeah, that was quite exciting. I would not have only been a couple of feet off the ground, I would have gone around then. But yeah, that was, my rudder pedals were doing all kinds of weird things. And after that, we're now in the wrong place. The rate was perfect, you're right. But yeah, the position was not. No, that was absolute pants. And I think I might have got us stuck in the GA apron as well. After all. I am going to spin round here without hitting the building, without taking off anyone's head. And take us to where we actually want to be now. Eventually. Can a plane do a 3-point turn, do you reckon? Or not? Should be able to. Holy moly. Sabrina, where we're going? Completely the wrong direction. Where we're going. That worked out alright, didn't it? But I think we made it quite happily there. There we go. I bet you that geezer over there is wondering what the hell we're doing. Why are we going the wrong way, but that'll do. We're out. Flaps can go back. There's the spoilers disarmed. And let's have a look at a map this time. There we are. So we want to take straight across the runway again, Charlie, and then into the north apron now. That might work. I have been down here before, but I can't remember where we need to be. What we'll do is we'll eventually get parked up. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, and I'll make up the new flight plan. Go back to Newcastle. Left stand Delta. Oh, left Delta stand 1-4. Well, I did say I wanted to have a look around this airport, so we're definitely on the look around it now. There we are. We'll have a look around here and then go into There's also something quite satisfying about taxiing a plane around as well as flying one. Something quite satisfying. You did say stand 1-4, didn't you? Yeah, take stand 1-4. Yeah. Well, that definitely had 1-4 on the ground. You know what? Stop there, because I was going to quickly have a quick look at these. We landed 2-3 and we ended up going up there for a little look around. We then come back over here. We're now here. So we could go for a little drive around there as well. But I think we'll do that. And we'll grab, let's just grab the drone a second. See where we could go to. Oh, so we're pretty much in the I could have sworn I had some scenery installed here. Obviously not. All looks pretty much the same. The whole point of flying down here today was that scenery that I installed that clearly hasn't gone in. Anyway. We'll jump back in the flight deck, let's get the APUs on that's available. Get rid of some of this stuff. Newcastle will be better, because we do have nice scenery up there at least. Engine 2, engine 1 can go off. That can come off. That can come off. Seatbelt sign can come off. We'll do that for now. We'll let the passengers dicky off. That'll do that. We've got a bit of external power. Stairs are coming in. That'll do. So 1 hour 11 from Newcastle when we push back to here. We'll turn that off. And we'll let the passengers disembark. The steps gonna come? Maybe. But no, the landing was wonky, the parking was wonky, we took a wrong turn. But no one died. We might have got in trouble with the air traffic and whatnot, but we're parked up and the passengers aren't complaining. And it was a half decent landing, apart from how straight it was. So, what I'll do is, guys, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'll knock up a new flight plan and we'll come back and we'll head back up to Newcastle if we can find our way out of Southend without getting stuck in a general aviation park as well. So we're back with you in about 5 minutes and we'll get cracking to go back up again. Right then, so we'll crack on. We'll got this new flight plan ready, and we'll get some more passengers up and running. Nip down, so if I generate this, it might help. That'll do. Right, that's now been generated. I thought I pressed a button beforehand, but obviously not. We should be able to find that hopefully in here. There we are. Southend back to Newcastle. Let's have a look at the flight plan. Fuel wise, we need 6 tons, which is fine. And how much we got left? Do we need to put any more in? 4.3. Put 6.5 in, that'll do. And we'll go and get some we'll get some passengers and some other bits and bobs sorted out. Yeah, we'll do the init press and we'll grab that. And I'll restart the restart PackX and get the passengers back on. Right, there's passengers coming on, and we'll quickly go do the weight balance. How many going back up? 157 back to Newcastle. There we are. So init request. There we are. Alternative from Newcastle being Heathrow. Well, I don't think that's likely to happen, but never mind. Cost index 15, flight level 340 for the cruise back up. Init B, we're taking 6.5 tons of fuel. Grab that. Alternate fuel was 2.1 tons, we'll put in for that. And the wind was, what's the average wind going back up? +7. And go in there. Look, right, we'll have a look at the flight plan and make sure we can actually work our way out of here on the right runway and whatever else. As soon as we couldn't make our way in properly, we'll do we'll try and get out. Please. But clearly we haven't got a departure. It's direct to Evnaz out of runway 23. So I'm assuming that's the runway we came in on. Runway 23. So if we go right way around here, then up Alpha, and then we'll hold Alpha 1 and sort ourselves out. Surely I can't muck that bit up. That being said, I probably can. Right, good. So departure, runway 23, and no SID. And EGNT, we're going to go into runway 25, Newcastle's favourite, and the Rimto 1 November arrival, no Vias, and that can go in there. 51-minute flight time, 345 miles. That looks half decent. And we'll do a bit performance out of here as well. So if I grab this, and let's do the performance. The runway 23 is 233 degrees. Elevation 38 feet. Runway length quite small, 1856. And just the weather. Weather, there it is.
Cody Moore subscribed on YouTube.
Yo, Cody, welcome along, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Weather, wind 182 knots, temperatures 8 degrees. $182 knots. $8 degrees, and QNH is 1035.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is your
So this reckons we can't do config 1 plus F. We may have to do if we can do a flap 2 takeoff. Flap 2 with toga thrust.
If you have any trouble or need any assistance,
We can do.
please don't hesitate to let a flight attendant know, and we'll be happy to help.
And we got
The overhead bin is
takeoff
full.
weight
Make
of
sure you close it as a
65.1
courtesy to other passengers.
tons, and we got
Please double check that all your
CG.
items are put away so that the aisle is
24.1.
clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in
Yeah,
an
be a flap 2
emergency exit
takeoff,
row,
45, or we could do
exit
45 degree flex to flap 2,
in the card,
28,
back
32,
to
36.
If you're not able to comply with these actions, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during
We'll
the
do
boarding
flap
process.
2,
We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed
and
onto
for the
the compartment.
trimmable horizontal
Thank you, and
stabilizers up
welcome aboard.
0.8. Flap 2, flex of 45, and we got 128 for V1, 132 for VR, and we got 136 for V2. That's that. So if flight plan's done, init's done, performance is now done, passengers are coming on, we've got fuel, APUs are on, the fuel tanks are on still, which is good. Put that on. Now we've got fuel, and we'll just wait for the passengers to finish. Have a quick look at what they're up to. Still a few coming on, so we'll let them do that. So, if I'm right looking at those charts, we'll taxi out here up to the holding point for 2-3. That's the plan. Like I said, not even I can muck that up. So, Newcastle should be fine. I do know what I'm doing at Newcastle. So we should get on the deck quite safely. Is what I'm hoping. We'll go and shut that external door. Back. And we'll call the tug. Just to push us back a little bit. There it is. And initial stop climb out of here will be... What would be a stop climb out of Southend if they've got no... Evners, that's where we're heading to. That's our first waypoint. That's not above or below 3,000 for now. There we go. Win. So QNH, just double check that 1035 still valid, which is good. And we'll call the. We'll get ready to go. Just a few people left to get their asses on seats. This chap hurries up. It does, yes, Galley. It does. It flies 3 times a week now. It only restarted in October again.
Good afternoon, ladies
Right,
and
that's
gentlemen,
those sorted
and welcome aboard flight 2126. Our flight time will be roughly 50 minutes. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already,
doors are shut.
please
Right, we can
fasten
get
your
ourselves
seatbelt.
off.
Verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seat backs must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
Again, we're getting pushed back without a tug. Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
there goes
direct
engine
your
number
attention
2.
to the screen for an important
And we'll
demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
just swing that round.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes.
Your local Southend, is it, Gary?
Jackets,
Yeah,
and
Newcastle
brace
is obviously that's where I live.
if you
That's
hear
my local airport.
Brace.
Uh,
There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware
it's
that
a
your
nice
nearest
little
exit
airport,
may
to be fair,
be
Newcastle.
behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times.
let's start that clock again.
If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you.
There's almost a good start on engine 2, so we'll go engine 1. Where's that? There it is.
Your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust.
Used to take the 747,
Put on
yeah.
your own mask before helping others.
I don't know if you watched. Did you watch?
Take the life jacket from
Or did you
under your
catch
seat.
320 Sim Pilot last night? He flew the
Pass the tapes
747
around your
200
waist.
up to Newcastle from
Click together
Heathrow last night.
and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle.
Do a quick
If it
flight
fails
control
to
check
inflate
while we
or
wait.
needs topping up, blow into the tube.
There's
There's
full
a
up,
light and whistle for attracting attention.
full down, and
We're
neutral,
also carrying
and
flotation aids for
full
children.
right,
Your tray
full
table
left,
must now be stowed,
neutral,
armrest
and then the
down,
rudder,
window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened.
full right,
We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
and neutral. We are doing, remember, flap 2 takeoff, not flap 1. Otherwise I'll forget that. There's a good start on engine number 1. Off, that can come on. Set that to taxi, and we'll get ourselves hopefully in the right direction heading out. Parking brakes off, and let's go for another look around around Southend before we get lost again. Yeah, so this was not the scenery I expected to have installed for Southend. So at least according to the chart, I'm going the right way this time. This should be Alpha, ideally. Should be Alpha 1. Right, landing lights, come on. So that can go to takeoff. That can come on. And in the cabin. Auto brake to max is, and the takeoff config. All tickety boo. All tickety boo and no blue. So let's check, but nothing coming. Go and get ourselves lined up. So flap 2, flex takeoff, we've got V speeds 128, 136, climb nav, 1 FD2, 3000 set, and the QNH is 035. 50% N1. There it is. 2 clicks, and man flex, 45 SRS, runway. Put a thrust, armed and blue. See how this works out on a 1800 meter runway. There's V1 and rotate, up we go. Positive climb, gears coming up. There's lever climb, first climb, and up we go. So 3,000 feet up to Evnes is the restriction on the way out. Flap 1 out the way. There we are, that's a bit, this is what this experimental version does. I have no idea what it's got here. But if we take let's take a direct to Evnas for now. See, there we go, that's a bit better. Evnas is not above or below 3,000 feet, and then after that, here. Evnas, then we got Lambourne, Brookman's Park, out to Henton, and then after that, we have no yeah, not that one. No restriction after that. Get rid of those spoilers, now the flaps are back. And we'll whiz on up to the cruise. I think you said 340, wasn't it? Get that said. About 3 miles. Good. At least we get a nice little view of the southeast before we get any higher up. There we are, let's get ourselves away. It's not showing any more restrictions there. It's Lambourne, Brookman's Park, and then out to Ponton, Bedford, and then firing up to the north. Get rid of that. This is, I know we just left, but this is the arrival into Newcastle. Grimto 1 November to Takeoff, and then Urco, Zodru, then Etsis. Etsis is the hull point if there's no ATC. But what we'll do is the procedural approach into Newcastle is out over the airport, then back out, left-hand turn onto the ILS. But we'll come off Etsis, vector out, and then swing in after that. Here's the plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger
let's get
portable
the
electronic devices.
landing lights
Also
off.
a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galley
They can
or
come
near
off,
the
and
lavatory.
passengers had too much drink can now go to the toilet.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
And yeah, there's the route back up. Right up the Midlands, through South, West Yorkshire, and then up North Yorkshire, County Durham, and this is where we'll come off and make that turn in over the North Sea via St Mary's Lighthouse and swing it round. Hopefully for a bit of a straighter landing than the one into Southend just a few minutes ago. It was, I was going to show you, trying to find the scenery that I thought I had for Southend was shown as installed. So bear in mind what we just saw down in Southend. This is what I expected it to look like once we got there. I expected it to be a bit like that. It's not what I had, which is what I thought I had installed. But we'll try again. Another point, we're going to try and fly back down there again and have a look. But we definitely have scenery in Newcastle, which is good. As we left there, that was definitely Nice, we've got ORBX for Newcastle. Is very nice, and also true to life. That's why I used when I learned to fly the Cessna. That's where they're all parked. This was the GA apron and the Aviation Academy as well. Part of Newcastle College, and the Emirates Control Tower and the fire station, and the cargo area. Yeah, so we'll see that when we get up. At least that definitely is installed. And there's a fire station. Should we need any issues on landing like we did down in Southend, at least they'll be able to come out and help us out. Yeah, there we are. That's what we should expect when we get there. We'll have a little look at the arrival and fixed info stuff in just a few minutes. You can see there's already got a restriction cropping up just there, so it's not going to take long before we need to start our descent. Make sure that we're where we need to be. We'll do that in just a few minutes. So I've got these charts rejigged around a little bit. Right, grab them. So we will come into Airco's not above or below flight level 160. So we'll go and pop that in. Airco, we're cruising today 340. If we make it before we get to top of drop, that is. And we want to be at flight level 160 at Airco, so we need 57 miles. And then Echo Golf November Tango runway 25 for the extended centre line, and the radius 066, I believe, if I can remember rightly. Sure it is. .066 for the radial out. Go in there. We should have a nice top of drop. There it is, and the extended centre line, which we're going to follow from Etsis out over the North Sea, and then jobs are good for people who want to get out on the tune for a bit of Nuki Brown Ale and whatever else. Moon out as well. Why does YouTube keep getting upset with me with this stream this afternoon? Now passing 373 for 340, we can do our pre-cruise checks. I do have a I do have a checklist that we can go through. Oh Christ. Have a quick look at that. So a pre-cruise, takeoff, taxi, after takeoff. We're in the climb, so we got standard sets. Anti-ice is required, which is off EFIS, which is set up nicely for us. Weather radar, well, it is in-op in this version of the fly-by-wire. Terrain radar is also the same. Landing lights are off, wing lights are off, seatbelt signs are off. And in the cruise, nav aids as required, seatbelt signs as required, which will be off. Monitor flight, monitor ECAM, monitor weather, prepare landing arrival, and McDo landing performance, which we'll do a bit later on. Next checklist is the descent checklist. But obviously not quite, just... That was taken from the actual, I can show you actually. Was the EasyJet 320 checklist. I mean, we should have done all of this, but... Yeah, so next one is the descent checklist. I'm just going to quickly look to see engine, but my missus wants me to take her shopping. She'll be watching you again. Happy landing. Cheers, Gary. I hope you're not dragged around and your wallet is not too badly damaged after going shopping. But thanks for stopping by, mate. We'll see you next time. There's always a stream somewhere thereabouts. Take care, mate. Have a good weekend if we don't see you beforehand. Right guys, I'm just quickly going to nip and get another drink because I forgot to get one in that quick break. If you give me 2 minutes, I'll tell you what, I'll leave you with a lovely view of this EasyJet glistening in the sun, and I'll be back in just 2 minutes with another drink.
few moments, our lovely flight attendants will be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note we only accept credit cards.
I think back with another drink. Must remember to bring more in with me when I stream, but I always forget. So yeah, well, good time I got back there. Top of drop is not far away now. That first restriction at Airport, flight of 160. About 20 miles left to run for that, and then we'll plan this arrival in. Yeah, still a nice day coming up over the north of England now. We are let's look where we are. Just heading up past Nottingham and Sheffield. And there we are, there's the start of the arrival. Like I said, the actual arrival would be, we would fly up to Etis and then ideally out over the NDB, make a right turn back out over the sea, make a swooping left-hand turn to join the ILS, come down over Whitley Bay, Blythe, Seaton Sluice, and in for 2-5. But our plan is we're going to get to here, come up, head towards Sunderland, and then we'll bring ourselves out over the sea towards South Shields, and we'll swing in and do it ourselves. That is that's the idea. So from here we'll be about 9,000 feet, and we'll gradually come down. The platform is platform's 2,000 feet. So yeah, we'll bring ourselves down. So we want 16. Be in there. That VOR, we don't need any more, we can get rid of that. And then we'll get the Newcastle weather just in a minute, which I can get by looking out the window, which is nice and bright, calm winds. And just one or two little wispy high level clouds that are floating around at the minute. Just something kind of like what that is showing. Actually nothing, it's not too dissimilar. Anyway, let's go down. There's top of drop, thrust idle, open descent. And down we go already. 28 minutes in. Come on, we push back. So yeah, we should have that restraint. There it is. Aircore flight level 160, then flight level 120 at Zodru, and then Etis 220 knots, flight level 90. Well, look at the descent. So MCDU landing perf we need to do. TCAS set to below, approach briefing as well. So let's put TCAS 2 below. like I said. And let's go and do the get the weather into the McDo. Grab it off here. Is. So the wind's 2805 knots, visibility is good, few clouds at 1,000, 7 degrees, 1033. 1033 for the QNH, temperature 7 degrees, wind at 280 at 5. We'll do the transition altitude as it is. It is 6,000 feet. Last flight level will be flight level 70. Then we're down onto the local QNH. Fine. And the Barrow ref for Newcastle. NDB 439. Can go in there. That can go into there. So there we go, we see again on there now how the experimental version hasn't quite got the flight plan sorted. Still a bit squiffy. So yeah, we'll put ourselves off and we'll vector out. EDSS will come out over the sea, and we'll come in that way. Runway in Newcastle's not that big. We still can use low auto brake, which is fine. We could do the see if we can do the landing performance on this thingamabob. See what it reckons that we need. Let's get these charts a second. Airport, let's go here. So runway 25 is 246 degrees. Elevation is 240. Runway condition is dry. We've got the winds at 280, 5 knots. Landing weight, if I look in the inlet, what we're going to land at. We started off 63.8. And we are now 63.8. We've used a bit of fuel. We can't actually get that, can we? Oh. Actually, how much fuel have we used? We've used 3.6 tons from our gross weight. 3.6. How come we used 3.6 tons? We only took 6.5 to begin with. If we had 6.5 tons when we left and we used half of it, we've only used 1.5 tons of fuel, haven't we? According to that. Right, we'll leave that. Let's say we're going to land at we're going to land at 59 tons. So we're going to use auto brake low, landing config full, manual landing, reverse is yes. This reckons we need a required 1300. We need maximum, a minimum of 1734, which will be fine for that. That's no issue whatsoever. No issue whatsoever. So 4,000 feet to go. We need 12 miles to Airport. I'm pretty sure we're well. We could be a little bit low here, can we? Oh, 18, yeah, slightly. Let's just bring that vertical speed back. Let's say 1,800 feet per minute. pull that. No point being too low too quick. Guys, if you are watching on the old YouTube, hit a like, subscribe. It is free. You'll get notified whenever we go live next. If you want to join the Discord, which is where I post all the doings for all the streams that we do and where we're going to fly, what time we're going to fly, Discord link is now in chat. If you want to click on that, come and have a join in, and you'll get notified well in advance of when we're flying next, when we're streaming next, where we're going and what we are flying, which will be I'm assuming, I'm going to guess it's going to be tomorrow evening when we fly next. It'll be around about 5 PM UK time tomorrow afternoon. We'll grab a plane and we'll go flying again tomorrow evening. See where we can end up. I've got nothing planned flight wise tomorrow, so if anything you want to fly, or anywhere you want me to fly, then you can pop that in the Discord, and we'll see what we can do. London Heathrow to JFK, wow. That might be just a little bit too far for tomorrow. I will have 2 boys off school, obviously for the weekend tomorrow as well. So somewhere quite, when we do a nice little couple of hour trip, or a couple of little sectors like that. I mean, we've been streaming what now, 2.5 hours. So yeah, there's 160. We need to start coming down to 12,000. If you fancy like a little holiday flight down to the Balearic Islands, or we could go across to Greece. I quite fancy looking to into Larnaca as well. So we could do something over that way. Or even down to the Canaries. We do Heathrow to JFK. I've got the A340-600. We can take that out in next plane across there. That could be quite fun. I took it down from Newcastle down to Dubai a few months back. So anyway, where are we? What are we doing here? After all that chatting. Dodge route, flight level we need to be 120. We might not make that. Oh, we might just make that restriction. And then 220 knots down to 90, so we might just keep that coming down. I think we're going to just have a little bit of speed brake, as that's pulling us back to 220 knots. And I'm going to put in, just in the performance, how far we're 28 miles out now. 28 miles, 12,000 feet. Should be working out quite nicely. What's our clean speed for this arrival? Clean is 208. So we'll won't come back that slow just yet. Take it, Sydney's out the question. I mean, for a direct flight from Heathrow, yeah, probably, but we could even go to Australia. Perhaps we could do a flight up the Gold Coast, perhaps. I always want to go fly in Australia, so yeah, we could do that. Perth to Sydney, yeah. That could work out well. Right. Grab this heading. Let's get us out. Over the sea. And we'll keep coming down to, say, 4,000 for now. About right. Landing lights can come on. They can go there, that can go there. Seatbelt signs are on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
If we look on the map of where we are now,
we have begun our final descent into your destination.
Just crossing where my parents live. And then I live just here.
Are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Are you flying along as well, Sabrina? See if I can see you. There's something wrong. I don't know where. You're about to depart. We're just about to arrive. Just so look where we are on this heading. Slightly more to the right, just for a little bit. And the airport should be just there. There it is up there. So let's get the lock approach. AP2 can come in. Get the QNH 1033. Anyway, I'll take us out over the North Sea for a little bit and we'll swing back round. And there's the glide coming up to meet us. We'll just keep that coming down. 3,000 feet now over the sea. We've got nothing height-wise, I don't think, at the moment. There we are. 2,600. And then 2,100 just to the north, northeast there. So yeah, nothing too exciting. And we'll go activate the approach phase. So this will be a swinging left-hand turn shortly. There is if we see there, St Mary's Lighthouse. Well, it should be there, but it's clearly not. There's the football stadium. Stadium of Shite. Right. Let's we'll start coming around now. This is literally the coolest approach if you ever flown into Newcastle in real life. This is the actual approach where they make it. Literally, they turn it on the wing. It's a super cool approach. It's just a continuous left-hand turn. Yo, Ollie, how's it going, mate? It's been good, thanks. Very slow day at work, hence why I've been streaming earlier on. Such a cool approach. And there is the northeast coast. You can see we're now up to coming up towards Sunderland. Well, this is a very 80s type song, isn't it? Jeez. What is this? Bit better. How's your day, Nolly? Actually, that speed brake can bugger off. And we'll start coming down to 2,000. Which it was. It is 2,000 feet. Here we go. Will you be flying all weekend now, Ollie? You finish your schoolwork? Yeah, I'll be streaming again to tomorrow, Ollie. If you want to fly along, we've been streaming what 2.5 hours now already, so we'll definitely be back on to we'll be back on streaming tomorrow afternoon, and we'll go and do some flying if you want to come along. So let's have a quick look at the arrival checklist. Landing, EFIS as required, ND terrain, well that's in-op. The gear is down in green, exterior lights are all on, nose wheel lights are on, auto brake is set, spoilers, flaps. Let's do that. So EFIS is all set. We need, like I said, ND in terrain doesn't work. Gear is not down yet, we don't need that. We are going to have the spoilers armed. We will have low auto brake. There it is. Low auto brake, and we have the rest of the lights on at the minute. I'm going to swing this around just a little bit. Oh, there's Lockstar anyway, we don't need to do any of that. We're on a 10-mile final, so we'll take flap 1. Landing flaps. Flap 1 now, and we've got landing in a few minutes time. Awesome. Hopefully this will be a bit better than the arrival into Southend earlier on, where we were a little bit wonky on the arrival. There's the airport there. A bit of traffic down there on the fine. A little bit of traffic. Little bit of traffic. There's the localizer. Here comes the glide slope. Glide slope start. And down we go. Take flap 2.
2,500.
Red Alta live. And the missed approach into Newcastle is time straight ahead 2,500, 4 miles from the at SDME, so 2,500 is set. Gate can come down, we'll take flap 3. A slight bit of wind coming off the left hand side as well. In the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Flaps are travelling to 3, and we'll keep them travelling out to flap 4. There's easy 570 in front of us. Flap full, they can keep travelling all the way. So for the landing checklist, we are have a quick look. Spoilers are armed, flaps are landing, flaps switch to the R, auto brake is set to low, all the lights are on, landing memo is ecam memo is landing, no blue. Let's get my feet on these rudder pedals ready. Just landed from Bristol. 500 feet. 2 whites, 2 reds on the pappies. We're certainly more stable than we were into Southend.
300. 100 above. 200.
See how we do this time.
100.
Good.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Well, that's a harsh landing. 305, wow. First green, we got decel. 60 knots reverse idle, and auto brake is off. Manual brakes. That was a straighter landing than
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
down
reached
in
our destination. The local time is
Southend, but it was much
3:14
hard landing,
p.m.,
wasn't it?
and
Jeez.
it's currently about 7 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile
But guys,
device.
welcome down
Please
into
remain seated
welcome down
until
into
the
Newcastle.
aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin,
I know.
as items may have been shifted during the flight.
Literally,
This is
that
your
was
final
a
destination.
3-point
We thank you for flying
dump.
with us.
That was.
If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your
Jeez, it
itinerary
looked all right
to
on the
ensure a
flare.
smooth continuation of your journey.
But yeah, the rest of it was yeah. At least it was straight. That's the main thing. It didn't look too. It didn't look to be 305. Pretty bad. Let's get the EU up. And let's find somewhere to park. Let's see if we can park where we started off from. We're just round the corner. Don't go to cargo. No, at least I know my way around. My way around Newcastle. We would have had to vacate it left to end up in the cargo area. Could be a stand somewhere just here. Stand 10 should have a jet bridge, and this is where we started off. We are parked up. That geezer can stay there with his hands in the air. APU's available. Let's get a few of these lights off. And kill the engines. Seatbelt sign can come off as well. As the APU kicks in, let's get them a jet bridge. The passengers come off. Forward door goes. So guys, there we go. Welcome down to Newcastle. That's not too bad parking. I'll take that. I've forgotten to do the flaps and the spoilers. Yeah, exactly where we started 2 and 3/4 hours ago. Back into Newcastle. And there's Sabrina, who's flying along. She's at well, 34,000 feet. You won't make that down. She's above there. Yeah, there we are. Let's have a quick look. I'll show off this the scenery for Newcastle, which is very nice. We go up a little bit with the drone. But yeah, there we go. If we were going to go to the cargo area and the general aviation, there it is over here. Well away from that this time. GA from Northumbria, from Newcastle Aviation Academy, which is where I flew. To be honest, the Cessna that I flew and learned from was always parked just here off this off the right hand side of the Aviation Academy. So we used to come out this building here, cross on past the aviation hangar, and the plane I was in, the Cessna 152, was always parked just there. But yeah, had we had a dodgy landing like in Southend, sure our friends down here at the fire station would have nipped out to give us a hand. And then we can go around to the Emirates control tower. The nice view across the airfield. And there is, in case you wondered, that is the there's a VOR. NDB, sorry. Get 2 parked up. There's normally a Ryanair parked along here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Ryanair and a Jet 2 right next to us. And there's the terminal. Premier Inn, Hilton, car park, and the drop-off area. Yeah, this, like I said, this was from ORBX. If you want to grab it, it's on the ORBX Central bits and bobs. There's our plane, which will leave there with passengers getting themselves off and away to wherever they want to be. So for now, guys, I'm going to we'll watch Sabrina land. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon stroke evening, and we'll do another little flight. If you want to join the Discord, like I said, you can do that. I'll give you all the information of where and when and what time we're doing bits and bobs. But yeah, we'll most likely take the A320 again and go off to either. I did quite fancy a trip up to also up to Scandinavia, but we could go down to Australia. See if I can find some scenery for Sydney or Perth as well. If we can get some from that, we'll go and do that. But guys, thank you for coming along. Thanks for the new subs, the new follows on Twitch and on YouTube. It's been a really enjoyable couple of sector flight there. It's been nice chatting with you throughout the little flight. So yeah, like I said, we'll see you tomorrow for another one. If I can get this to stay straight. Yeah, Gally, cheers mate. Thank you ever so much for coming along. And see if we can see Sabrina get herself taxied in. Actually, if we fly out to it, might be able to. But yeah, roughly, there you are, Sabrina. It's normally 5 o'clock UK time, Gally, is roughly what time it is. Between 5 and 6 in the evening. But yeah, today was a bit different just because work was quiet and I was bored, so I thought I'd stream a flight. But yeah, roughly 5 PM, between 5 and 6. most days. Yeah, anyway, thanks for coming along, and I will see you all tomorrow afternoon stroke evening for some other adventures, and see which other landings we can cock up and where else we can fly to. But for now, guys, thank you ever so much. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. If I don't see you tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you no doubt all in the next one. It's sometime in the very near future. And take care, guys, and I'll see you later on.